Hey, we're back. It's Max 9 tutorial number 41. Jit GL Basic Intro 4. Yes, we're just going and going. So what did we do last time? We made this little effects changer here. Oh, we got to get everything started. Turn on the audio. The audio's going. There's a little background music. Start the world rendering, but we can't see it. What happened? I put this little thing here so I could do my intro the way I liked it. Ooh, and look at Fluffy just going wild here. And then we can even turn the X fade up a little bit and get some wiggle and jiggle in there. Hey. Oop. Whee. So we got our little wiggling and jiggling going on there. And now the thing we added last time, the automated Berkoza brightness, contrast, and saturation. So now we get to see it go through all its various shades of saturation, brightness, contrast, all that different stuff. And look, the handle still works. Woohoo! All right. Well, since we're here kind of handling this thing around and looking at it, let's minimize this so we can, not minimize it, just make it small, so that we can pay attention to it while we're working. And we'll put it somewhere where it won't bother us too much. Maybe over here it won't bother us too much. We'll be able to kind of refer to it. Or how about here? We're not really looking at this imported movie, right? Yeah, we're good. Let's put it here. Because I was thinking one of the things that would be nice if this thing kind of flew around a little bit, that would be a nice alteration. And look, we have position, 1, 2, 3 things to change on the position. And doesn't that remind you a little bit of this changer? So what we'll do is unlock our patcher, take this whole, whoops, I locked our patcher. Take this whole thing and copy it and just throw it right up here. Oops, I threw it down there. But I meant to throw it up here. And what we can do, I believe, is just update this one so that instead of being the Berkoza changer, it's going to be the position changer. So I'm just going to type that in here. Position changer. There it is. All right, now we know we've got these things hooked up. Oh, right. And then the extra outlet will go right to the JIT world, but I don't think we're quite ready for that yet. So let's lock our patcher and open this thing and make the changes that we need to do for position. And instead of sending out a brightness, contrast, and saturation, what we need to do is something a little tiny bit different, which is we need to send out 3 numbers whenever any one of them changes. Interesting problem. So let's go ahead and just grab, unlock, and grab these 3 messages here and just delete them. And say, hey, how are we going to send out 3 numbers down here? And the answer is we're going to use the PAK object. So type an N. Did somebody say they wanted me to turn the drumming down? Okay, I will. There we go. Oh, what a relief. There we go. Okay, so back to our object here. The PAK object, and then we type, of course, 0.0 space, 0.0 space, 0.0, and that should give us a whole bunch of decimals. It usually shortens it to 0. I just never have the confidence to actually do it. Now, the cool thing is that whatever we send to this, anytime that it sends anything to it, it will send out a change. So we don't have to worry if we turn one of these off and don't move it. The POC object, if you change anything, it sends them all out. So there's the POC object going right out to number 1. Did you notice I used a segmented patch cord there. I was threatening to do that in the last video, and I finally did it. I went up to options and I turned my segmented patch cords on. I do love them because I can just put them wherever I want them. You just go click, 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 and there they go. Okay, so for position, we could probably, what changes would we like to see? Right now, these go from 0 to 5. And what we do know about position is that we're going to kind of, well, I guess maybe we should see what it does, but at least for the X and the Y, I'm just trying to decide if they need to be negative or not. Maybe we should just hook it up and see what it does. Oh, we need a prepend object, which is to say prepend position. So, type n, type prepend position, and then we'll just hold the shift key down and just wiggle this around until it just jumps right. Come on, just jump right in there. Just jump right in. There you go. Sometimes it feels shy about it, but it actually did it, even if the patch cord's not quite in the right spot. Darn segmented patch cords. No, I love them. Okay, so there it is. Let's go ahead and just see what this does to position, and then we'll come back and make changes to it that we feel are necessary. So I'm going to close this patcher, and then we'll just hook this right up to, whoops, I have to unlock this patcher, and we'll hook this right up to Jit World and see what happens. And, we have to turn them on. Okay, so there's X, and off it goes to the right. And there it goes back to the, not very far to the left. So it's going back to 0. So this needs to be a positive, equally positive and negative number. Okay, we can turn that off and put that as close to the middle as we can find, which is the bottom of this. And then we can, well, we could just move it too. So this is up and that's down. So this also has to be a positive and negative number. And then what about distance here? Oh, it just runs right into it. So this we want primarily to be a negative number. Okay, that's good information. So let's open this thing up again. And I think we can do all of this with scale. So this one, which gets a -1 and a +1 as input, and then has an output between 0 and 5, could be an output between, let's just say, -5 and +5. And I'm going to say 5.0, so that it -5.0 and +5.0. And in fact, for both of these, if we want to make them adjustable, I'm already imagining a way that we can do it. And then for this scale, I think maybe we'd like to do the same thing. So we'll just jump on this. And since this one's actually stays 5.0, we can just put the first one in here. Space -5.0. And then this one we want all to be negative. So we're going to say just between 0. Since they're all going to be 10, why don't we just make this one -10? And just see how that works out. 10.0, I mean. And now we'll, we may have a little bit of an issue with this because the numbers are now negative, so we may have to add a number before it goes into the slider again. Does anybody remember this? That the sliders only take positive numbers in the top of them. Does that make Does anybody remember this? It's okay. The sliders always start at 0 for their input, and then you have to add a certain amount to get them where they should be. And we'll see if we have this problem now. But for the moment, we'll just close this and see where we got to here. So, interesting. Doesn't seem to... Oh, because the slider's still... Here, let's turn this thing on and see what it does. There it goes. So it's making even swaths across here. We'll turn this one on and this one on. Oh, there it is, way back there. This one does not like it at all. Because it's probably trying to reset this in a way that it doesn't like. Or it might just not be registering on the slider. So let's look in there again and try to remember what it is that... I'll turn these off for the moment. And we notice that this one... Whoops. Get these back somewhere near 0. So this one, the slider, can't output a negative number down here. We have to change the values of the slider and make them similar to the values that we're putting in here. That makes sense to me. And this one can only go up and not down, so it doesn't have any negative values either. This one should only have negative values, and so we can change that. So let's we open our... These two are actually the same, so we might be able to edit them at the same time. We go to the inspector. Float output is on. The range is now... Did we make them positive and negative 5? So that's 10.0. And then the output minimum is going to be negative 5.0 for these two. Oops, I didn't double click on it well enough. Negative 5.0. And that should mean that we can now go to both sides. But it doesn't like it because of the feedback. So we have to make a little change here. It's jamming. What it's doing is resetting every time we send it in there. We try to tell it to go to negative 5, and it immediately tells it to go to 0 through the top of the slider. So what do? We add, subtract, no, add 5 to this? I think that's it. Wish I had just a little more room here. Right. I can get a little more room. There we go. Okay. So we'll put that in there. And another one here. And see if that solves the problem for these two. Yes. And there we go. Right in the middle. And that sort of suggests that this last one should be a -10 situation. Let's see here. So when this one receives a 0, it should be at -10. So yes, that is what it should be. So I'm just doing this, and then I'm going to change it when it's here. Negative 10.0. And we could probably, well, let's just see what's going on out there. And we'll close this window and turn these on and see if they start tracking like they should. This one's still not happy, but these two are pretty happy. Now I'm going to turn this one off in the middle, and there it's going left to right. So look, this one, when it's in the middle, it's more or less in the middle. This one, when it's in the middle, it's more or less in the middle. What's going on with this one? This one is non-functional. It's interfering with something. So let's see here. Oh, plus negative 10. Sorry, that's the mistake. It just needs to be plus 10, not plus negative 10. I think. Let's see. There we go. So that's as far away as it can go. Oh, it's on. Sorry. Nope. I was wrong about that. When this thing goes all the way to the top, it puts out a negative 10. No, when this thing goes all the way to the top, sorry, this is a good learning moment here. I messed up. The range on this needs to be 10 and 10.0, and the minimum needs to be negative 10. I just forgot to do it. There we go. And because it only goes up to 0 at that point. So maybe we've got it now. That's it. There's up close, there's far away. Sorry about that. Sorry to force you to wait, but sometimes it's good to watch me struggle so that when you're struggling, you understand it too. So I'm going to turn on the X and watching it go back and forth. Turning on the Y, watching it go up and down. And turning on the Z, let's call it Z. And that should come closer and farther away. So, we could make a minor modification to this, which would be, it seems like this kind of goes pretty far off the beaten trail. Here, let's turn these off and experiment with. So this is, where's as far away as it gets? This is as far away as it gets. Then it goes to the bottom, it goes to the top. That's not bad. It goes to the left, it goes to the right. Again, not bad, really. Yeah, I think it's adequate. I was going to adjust them to make slightly smaller circles, but why bother? So there we go, there we go, there we go. And there it is, moving around. Well, gosh, super exciting. Do we need to stop there? We absolutely don't. Unlock this thing, and let's grab all these again and move them over here. And let's make a rotation changer. And we get to change something in here too. And we'll lock this and open this up. Now here's the... that was premature. Okay. This is watching the position. So let's go look at rotation and see how it works. Rotate. Okay. Rotate. So when... And I guess I need to stop these so we can actually look at it. Okay, and you stop bumping around. We need to look at you. All right. Okay, Burkosa, you too. Stop, stop, stop. Okay, so there it is. If we're going to rotate something, we have one here that seems to go up to 360. Oh, it can go past 360, but 360 is one turn, right? Let's check that. Check that again. I'm pretty sure this is true. So we'll go back down to 0. There's 180, and there is 0. So what we need is to go 0 to 360, but then to start over at 0. And the same with whatever rotation this is. It doesn't... Oh my goodness, there's 4 of them. What could this be rotating? It's not doing anything. I think maybe we better try a different shape. Maybe a donut doesn't understand that shape. Where is our little shaper? There it is. Let's look at a plane. Okay, what's going on here? Nothing. It's just rotating. This one can rotate, but these don't? Oh, now it is. Yes, it can, but it wasn't before, for reasons I don't know. So we have sort of spinning on one axis. We have spinning around another axis. Yaw, twirl, and pirouette. We'll call them yaw, twirl, and pirouette. But there's 4 of them. Oh my goodness. Well, I still think we know what to do, but we have to find something that goes all the way to 360 degrees. And I think I have an answer for this, if you'll just bear with me. So, what we're using here is called cycle, but there's another object, let's unlock our patcher here, called phasor. And what phasor does, P-H-A-S-O-R, generates a sawtooth signal, which means it ramps up all the way to 1, then it drops to 0 and goes and ramps all the way to 1 again. And we'll see it doing it shortly, but let's get phasor put in all 3 of these and then make another one. Phasor. Okay. And then, so now this is going to run from 0 to 360. The scale that we're going to be getting out of here is going to be 0 to 1. So we just need to change that so it's 0, and as I always say, 0.0 to 1, and the output is going to be 0 to 360. I'm going to say 0 point to 360 point. And, you know, just to make it easy, I'm just going to copy this. Maybe I should have just deleted these and done it that kind of brutal way that I sometimes do. All right. And then I think we can make these bigger numbers because we're going to want them. No, they're just going up to 1, so they're still counting relatively rapidly. Okay, and then we need a fourth. So let's get all the... Oh, darn it. Try that again. There. So we get all these, and then we put shift, and we get all these. And then we just option click on them and move them on over. And what was I thinking? Oh, now pack has to be bigger by 1. And is that all we need? Yes, outside. So we think that part of this is going to work. The tricky part is going to be the sliders, which actually shouldn't be tricky at all because they're going to be 0 to 360. They're not going to need anything added into them. So I'm just going to take these out by pushing the shift key down and giving them a tug. You click on them, shift, tug. Click on it, shift, tug. And then we can just throw them away. So, let's close our rotation changer for a moment. We need to make a, we need to unlock this patcher, make an additional slider and toggle by holding the option key down. And then we connect it. I'm going to just move them apart for a second so that I don't make any mistakes. So toggle to that first inlet and the slider to the second. And then down here, the new outlet goes up to the top of the slider. And we will see. Have we done it? Have we? Let's see. Well, stop. And unlock your patcher. I forgot to change these. All should be float output, and their range should be 360. And their minimum number should be 0. Point. Just in case it decides to give some float values there. Okay, let's see now here. All right, that seems to be working, but what is it not? Oh, one more thing we forgot. So this is all working very nicely. I guess we could have made it go up to 360 and turn around, but these will just keep spinning in whatever direction they're going. Will that be better or worse? I do not know, but there it is. Okay, so two things. One, lock your patcher, double click this and open it, and I forgot prepend position. No, prepend rotate. R-O-T-A-T-E. And put that away. And then we can unlock our patcher and, whoop, it didn't unlock. Unlock our patcher, it didn't, there it goes. And run this over to Jit World and see if we now have not very smooth. I wonder why. Seems like if you run this last one, it's kind of bumpy. I wonder if that's because Woo, but it sure makes for exciting viewing, doesn't it? Let's go back to our, how about an open cylinder so we can see it really flying around. And I'm going to click out here so that's not so distracting. Oh, let's make it big. And turn that funky music up. And turn the brightness up. It does kind of. I wonder if this is a salt and pepper, because that's what I was doing the last one and I couldn't get it to be bright. Now they're changing. Nice. Well, I have to say I like that. And then here's one, whoops, full screen. Oh my goodness. There it goes. Oh, I can't get out of it. Shoot. Really making me work here. There we go. There you go, Fluffy. So, as we think about the next part that we could change an adjustment on for Fluffy, I just wanted to point out that, so I've been essentially going through these things in the JIT world and saying, oh, well, what would be, interesting? And one of them had been the erase color, which is the color that it draws in here to erase whatever was already there. So if you click erase color and then you click on this, you usually get this kind of color chart here, and you could pick like black, and then it's all black and you've got your object flying around in here. I'm going to go for the donut. I just like the donut so much better. There we go. Come back, donut. But one of the things that it used to do very, very well, let's see if we can, that's in the position changer. That means this is now close and far away. Okay, where is that thing? Put these all in the middle. There it is. So there it is, jumping around in there. But if you turn the opacity down of the, or change the color and then turn the opacity down, you would get a really nice blurring effect, which for reasons I can't fathom, isn't exactly working anymore. But it doesn't mean we can't mess around with erase color. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to get to erase color in the next thrilling video. But for right now, we can revel in the glory of all these different things going on here with our crazy flying donut, and enjoy, make lots of good position changers, and I will see you in the next video.